mothers, extending a message of hope, a message of life, a message of resiliency, but more importantly, a message to our mothers and sisters in the Asian community who have been experiencing violence. We say that today we have lessons that have been learned that we would like to pass on to our brothers and sisters who are now experiencing what we have for many years. The Community Leadership Academy and Emergency Response Project was born out of the blood of young African Americans in the city and county of San Francisco. We learned very quickly that we had to give voice. Latifah, please join me. Latifah Simon is our keynote speaker today and head of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. It is so appropriate today as we stand here that we remind you that we will never, ever, ever forget those of our children who lost their lives to senseless violence in the street. But we also are here to affirm that with support, with love, with the continuance of commitment, our families have endured, have gone on, and have exceeded all boundaries imaginable. We're going to hear from a couple of people today about what it means to have a little model of sustained love and continued support. And as a result of that, these mothers are here openly to commit their continued commitment to love and support and to members of our entire community that includes Asians, Browns, and others. And we will continue to carry a message of hope. With that, I'd like to start with introducing some of the first people who stood in the struggle and who've been supported by this program. And I want to ask that those members of the Asian community take to heart the show of outreach, learn from the experiences, and let's increase the voices of disenfranchised people. I'd like to introduce Jane Regnick, who's been with this program for several years, to talk really briefly about what it means to have continued and sustained support and what the accomplishments are that we can celebrate today.
Good morning. My name is Jane, and my son Julian was murdered in 2003. I have been with Claer since that time, and most important, they have taught me that life does go on. Proof of that is that my daughter will be going to college at the University of London this fall.
She's one of the mothers that lost her child right up the street not too long ago. And our vision is start the healing and stop the killing. We believe that we're a hurt generation and hurt people. And as long as they're hurt, they're going to continue to hurt. So our emphasis is to get people healed, to get people your business. When some child is murdered on the bus, when a mother is thrown from a platform on beauty, trying to go home from work, that should be everybody's business. Everybody should be pissed off. I don't care what color she is. It should be everybody's business. And so with the Healing Circle, that's what we do. We're survivors of action. We meet every second and fourth Thursday of the month at Paradise Baptist Church from 7 to 9 p.m. We're at City Hall. We go to the Capitol's Victimization March every year in Sacramento, and we're on our way to Washington, D.C. with this problem. So we solicit you to come out tomorrow as we will have a rally on the steps of City Hall. I have flyers from 10 to 1 p.m. tomorrow morning on the steps of City Hall, commemorating this Mother's Day event. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to really hear real quickly from Erica Green, who is a surviving mom and will be emceeing the program and doing chapter in between.
Hi, I'm Erica Green. Like Sharon said, I'm a survivor. In 2004, my husband was murdered. I was pregnant with my daughter. She and my son are over there. My son was 1.5 years. But today I welcome you all here as symbols of hope, as symbols of change, representing what God can do even in the midst of tragedy. We just want to welcome everybody, every nationality, every color, every culture understands violence, understands pain, understands hurt. And so right now I just want to represent the African American community and the Asian community coming together. I was a student at UC Berkeley, and if it wasn't for my Asian friends, I wouldn't have even passed the class. So I just want us to understand that together we can accomplish so much. And one of the missions for Claer is higher education. And I'm first to say that many people in the African American community are left behind when it comes to education. And I think that we can stand together as a unit, unifying the Asian community and the African American community, if we just start with education alone. And then from there we can build relationships, we can understand the struggles and the problems that we all face here in America. So I welcome you. I thank you all for being here. The Lord is the head of our lives, and He is here for all of us. And again, we celebrate in the midst of tragedy. God is good, God is hopeful, and He's a God of the future. So welcome.
I want to say with us today, several members. I'd also like to acknowledge Lenore McCall, who is now raising, and if we have challenges, this is a woman I want to encourage you to talk to. She's raising how many children? 6 grandchildren. Herself, her daughter was murdered, and she has taken on the responsibility. How many children do you have? You know that now? She has 6 grand plus her 5. This is Mother McCall. Let's give it up for her.
Yes.
This is what I think I say additionally, I'd like to mention that we have Teresa from the API community that's here again to listen. She's the one that's talking of support. We have Marlene. And I want to mention another very special lady. Her name is Carla Hilton. She had a death in her family today. She's going to be leaving. But her grandson is also a member of